The best and creamiest risotto with wild chanterelle. An Italian food not famous as pasta and pizza, but not less tasteful than them. Hello everyone, I'm Marcus from Culinarish. I had planned for another recipe today, but when I was taking my daily walk in the forest, I stumbled on a bunch of beautiful golden wild chanterelle, known as the gold of the poor people. Finding this treasure changed my plan. I had only a handful of them and I couldn't make a pan with them, but they were enough to add this unique flavor to our risotto dish. To clean the mushrooms, it is better to use a brush rather than washing them, because they absorb the water and get waterlogged, and when you fry them, your mushrooms get mushy. It is fine just to brush them gently and remove any visible dirt. Cut the root stem and just pull them apart in small pieces. You don't need to cut them with a knife. The wild mushrooms are super fresh. You can hear that when I break them. I have about 150 grams mushrooms, which is perfectly enough for the risotto. But if you want to add more, go for it. If you have other mushrooms, feel free to use it. I dice a big onion. When you give the onion horizontal cuts, watch out your hand. Put your palm on the halved onion and spread your fingers upwards. You should use a sharp knife, because if it's not sharp enough, you would use force to run the knife through the onion, and it would slip out and cut your palm. But a sharp knife runs smoothly through the onion, without using any force. Try to hold the knife horizontal as possible, with a slight downward angle with the cutting board. Give the onion 3 to 4 horizontal cuts and several vertical cuts. Avoid cutting off the root stem because it holds the onion together, which makes it easy to dice. And finally, dice it. I chopped just a handful of parsley. Too much of it tends to make the dish bitter. Put your palm on the blade and spread your fingers upwards and then chop the parsley. We also need 120 grams parmesan for 250 grams risotto. And we have to grate it right now because when you cook the risotto, you better not get away from the pot. Wash the rice 1 to 2 times to get rid of the starch. When everything we need is ready, we can start cooking the risotto. Trust me, for a perfect risotto you don't need much ingredients. In addition to what I mentioned so far, I use 30 grams butter and 500 ml thin chicken stock. Make sure to heat it up in advance to not interrupt the cooking process of the risotto. Heat up 3 tablespoons olive oil in a medium-sized pot and fry the risotto rice on medium heat until the rice color turns to a brighter white. Then add the onion dices and fry them until they get greasy. Now it's time to add the chanterelle. Fry them with the rice and the onions for some minutes. Then add the chicken stock to the rice, but not so much to cover it. We are going to add the stock gradually. Let it cook on medium heat until the stock is reduced. And then add more, but just so much to cover the rice. We want the rice sucks all flavor. Always keep an eye on the risotto. Believe me, the effort will pay off in taste. When the risotto is almost done, add salt and pepper. Don't do it earlier. If your chicken stock is salty, balance the salt considering that. In case you use chicken stock from a store, make the stock as thin as possible. We reduce the stock many times by cooking the risotto, and a salty stock would leave more salt in the rice. I add the rest of the stock in several times and let it reduce each time before adding the rest. At this point the rice looks marshy. Try the rice grains time to time. They should be big and al dente, meaning the core should have something to bite on. We reach the point and now we add the parmesan, but keep some for serving. I also add 30 grams of cold butter and the chopped parsley to the risotto. Now turn off the stove and combine everything. The risotto has to be served right away when it's hot, because then it has the best consistency and creaminess. It should be moist but not marshy with excess liquid. That's the way to pure creaminess. Now add some of the left parmesan on top. It is flavor packed with chicken stock, chanterelle and parmesan, and the taste of the chanterelle is heavenly. I wonder why this dish is so underrated, but I guess for some people the work is too much. I urge you guys to try it. and you will see the effort is worth it. If you liked the video, give me a thumb up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.